Hello all ye, welcome back for some more Amazon something. So as we load in, we just had a look at the top of the lighthouse, and I gotta say, I like the view. Actually this looks a bit a little bit strange, but well, it's a pretty sight. So, starting from that, what are we doing again? Let's see, oh yeah, climb there. You use the binoculars on the left to see the mailman and the broken bike. Huh. Really? Oh wait, I hadn't actually climbed to the top of the lighthouse. Yeah, don't ask me how the game saves things. It's just not how we did things in the 90s. I honestly don't appreciate that, but well, I can still play the game. This is not going to be as bad as Myst or Fundament or no wait, Abduction, I think. And wait, good tea is still good. Are they? Okay, I completed an investigation by accident. Just how I like to do things. Almost 6 degrees. Okay, so I used the telescope somehow. Manuel de trigonométrie pratique. Trigonometry manual. Oh, hello. What have we here? Slide number 4. Yeah, good tea is good unless you dunk it all over yourself instead of pouring it in your mouth. If you will just excuse me for a tiny second while I sort out some operational issues. Maybe, I don't know. Read that or something. Level 4 out of 6. Okay, yay. I discovered something. Okay, walk through. What say you? Climb line. Knock around the left. Okay, I don't think I did that, so I'll just go down and... Oh, yeah, you can double click. Good. See, go to the roof. Okay, wait, no. So the lighthouse thing, binoculars, over this way. Uh-huh. Okay, so I see the lighthouse, the mailman, and his bike is down for the count. That is unfortunate. There was something about 6 degrees, though. The beacon was... Let's see. Oh, right, we can actually read an article now. Okay. Well, let's see if we can read a thing. This doesn't appear to be the thing I'm looking for. Aha, there we go. Read my article. Let's see. Exploring the lighthouse in which Valenbois had hidden himself away, I found many relics of the second career he'd begun after his scientific disgrace. A career as a school teacher, no doubt less romantic than that of an explorer to the far reaches of the earth, but perhaps richer in human potential. Unfortunately, it is unclear whether or not Valenbois was able to recognize this. When Alexandre Valenbois returned from his mysterious expedition to Emerson in the 1930s, he became the laughingstock of the scientific community due to the discoveries he boasted of. The disgrace drove him to seclude himself in this lighthouse in Bretagne, to brood over his feelings of resentment and remorse. Don't brood. That's dumb. He also had to begin a new career, this time as a school teacher, which he seems to have done in 2 stages. First, he took a post as a teacher of natural sciences, at the Jean-François Millet High School in Languedoc. Then, following his retirement, Valenbois became an educational speaker at the local primary schools, sharing with children his passion for the geese whose seasonal migration he had followed to Amazon in the 1930s. Geese. Passion for geese. I mean, I've heard weirder things to nerd out over, but geese. Are you well, my boy? Anyway, documents strewn around the lighthouse reveal that Valenbois was popular with both pupils and teachers, but one cannot check off one's past, and a disagreement with a parent seems to have awoken in the old scientist the painful memory of his disgrace, enough to drive him to give up teaching altogether and further isolate himself in his lighthouse, alone with his regrets. Non-professional piece of advice here. Don't be like Valenbois. Well, whatever. Now we go down, right? Yeah, didn't I say I would try to lower the resolution between episodes? I did not actually do that. I forgot I wanted to, and well, I ended up not doing that. Yeah. Y'all can go rage at me. Let's see now. We got slide number 4, so let's yeah. Yeah. That's how you operate a projector. Yeah, that's really weird. Let's see, that is number 1, that's number 2, number 3, and here we have number 4. The Ovo-Volaos tribe. So great white birds and eggs. Okay. White birds, eggs. Sure. Oh wait, that's... I see something that looks like an egg here. Not seeing a whole lot of birds though. Well. Anyway, that's not really important. The important thing is going down to the bottom floor and getting into the basement. There you go. I can move around in buildings. I have a sense of direction. Just maybe not at this moment. Okay. Thing, key, jiggery pokery. Yeah, I actually had to manually turn the key with a mouse. That's not something you do in adventure games these days. I am okay with the nostalgic novelty. Okay, let's see. I did all this. I opened that hatch. Wait, I unlocked it. I did not open it, but now I have. And don't all of you guys get motion sick now? Right, a red light. We are, of course, very interested in that. I imagine that was not supposed to happen. I question the wisdom of doing that, but that's just me. Okay, well, either way. We are going down the tunnel, and the game is making us walk a very long way per click here. A lot of stuff lying around, but nothing I can really interact with. Oh, okay, splitting the path. Let's see, go further at the fork. It doesn't say turn, so I guess that's this way. Yeah, I'm playing my walkthrough, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. Wait, go further to the fork, not at the fork. Okay, that's just me being not as literate as I thought when I woke up this morning. So, yeah, we should turn over here. Neato. Okay, a tutorial explaining hints. Sure. I appreciate that. Let's see. Right, we have successfully turned on the light. What are you? Well, you had a lever. I flipped that lever up and okay. Something happened.
My dear friend, It's nice to see you again through these few pages. The previous ones ended with my arrival in Amazon with my comrades, Alvarez and Makowski, in 1932. For some weeks, all three of us traveled to Puebla, a fort village upstream of the River Amazon Delta. It was there, in the mouth of an old drunken and erudite Indian, that I first heard of the great white birds. The white birds are dependent on the imposing volcano that rises above the Amazonian jungle. They are majestic skyships of sorts. They glide interminably, taking advantage of the thermals created by the heat from the craters. Every 3 years, one of the females of the colony abandons a single egg that will, all by itself, contain the entire next generation of white birds. But the embryos contained in the egg are subject, it seems, to a brutal alteration in their chromosomes due to the toxic gases that escape the volcano. Left to its own devices, the egg would hatch nasty little blackbirds with a precarious existence. It is at this point that the intervention of the Ovo-Volahos, an indigenous tribe descending from a very ancient and famous civilization of white bird worshippers, takes place. Ignoring the warnings of my companions, I set off towards the unknown, with the old Indian as my guide. After a month of traveling, I reached the Amazon Falls. Then, out of the blue, my guide had left me. I was starving and had no more strength, totally weakened by a vicious tropical disease. I owe my life to the hospitality of the native tribe living near the bottom of the falls. A young Indian girl patiently lavished on me the care that was necessary for my recovery. To tell the truth, we never left each other after that. Her name was Yekumani. I loved her, and she loved me. And the months that followed were the most beautiful of my long life. But here we are, already approaching the sinister conclusion of this tale, my friend. There is still time for you to turn back. But if you decide not to, the end of my story is waiting where yours will begin.
Okay, well, look at that. We are back in control again. I was actually not paying super much attention to when they read out Ovo-Volahos, so I will probably pronounce that in a different way than the game does, at least once. But I will try to pay attention next time. This takes me back. So, how many of you nerds ever used 3 1/4 inch floppy disks in your life? You know, we used to get games on those. Sometimes those games even fit on 1 floppy disk. There were even some games that, well, some games that you could fit many of onto 1 floppy disk. Now, these were especially capacious ones. They could keep as much as 1.4 megabytes. Oh man, if you were not a kid in the 90s, you had missed some interesting times. Yeah, they were maybe not subject to bit rot, but they were not the most stable storage medium, shall we say. Let's see. Something bird. Letters. Okay, you can only take one, but examine the remaining 3 empty ones. Okay, as a result, you will receive empty floppy disks. Okay. Okay. Yeah, speaking of... wait. Whoa. Okay, well, maybe these are safe enough areas of the floppy disks to screw things into, but what in the goddamn fuck did you do that for? I mean, you don't have an infinite amount of space in floppy disk readers, you know? This part, by the way, is where the disk would be read. So basically this metal, I don't know, flap, slat, slit, slippy thingy, mabob, retracted over to the right, and this empty bit, well, this chiseled out or something, whatever, however they made it empty, exposed the physical medium underneath, which is actually a disc, well, a disc shaped, so it would pretty much cover the area that inside where I move the mouse now. So this bit over here, I think, would generally be empty, or just be intended for, I don't know, being able to actually pull the floppy disk out of the disk reader. I mean, the disk reader stations did eject them a little bit, but they figured some people might want to have a more secure hole than maybe just a millimeter or two. And yeah, this way we had well, at least 1 centimeter of some plastic material to grab onto. Anyway. Oh, hello. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Do not, ever, absolutely under no circumstance, refer to storing data on a floppy disk as burning data onto it. Burning was a thing we did with CDs, or, well, still do, technically. I, for one, have a DVD and even Blu-ray disc burner, so I can burn data. On floppy disks, we just wrote data magnetically. It was not an optical medium. It was a magnetic medium. Not the same as discs, CDs. We did not use optical lasers to dick around with the physical, well, data storage areas on the floppy disk. We used magnetism, much like I think HDDs work, only, well, not as good. You know, I think I will even oh, look at that. That's probably a clue for something. Well, so yeah, I was trying to say that let's call it an episode here, and in the next one I will try to rage less about how people refer to doing things to floppy disks. No guarantees though. Stay tuned.